Hey guys, Mike here. I want to talk to you today about something nobody else talks about, and that is taking your first long distance motorcycle ride as a passenger. A lot of what I'm about to say applies to a rider of a motorcycle, obviously, but if you're going on your first motorcycle trip and if you've been invited to go along as a passenger, I want to share some information with you that we learned on our last motorcycle trip when Caitlin, my girlfriend, went on her first motorcycle ride. We ran into a few hurdles and some things to think about that I want to share with you so you don't make the same mistakes we did. So come on, let's go. All right, when you go on your first long distance motorcycle trip, you're going to want your basic safety gear, obviously your helmet, and if you want to wear leathers and all that kind of stuff, the fancy stuff with the pads in it and the knuckles and all the crazy things. And that's fine. Everything the MSF course taught you, great. But there's extra things to keep in mind. Sometimes it's going to be really hot outside. Sometimes it's going to be really cold outside. And we need to adjust for these factors. I'm going to start with the top and we're going to work our way down. One thing that happens quickly on a motorcycle trip is you get sunburned. So in order to prevent a sunburn, you want to wear some sort of long sleeve clothing. I recommend the Under Armour water wicking resistant type stuff. It's long sleeve, it'll go up to your wrists, and it's breathable. That's the most important part, because if it's hot, you'll find out real quick that you don't want to wear it, and then you take it off and you get sunburned. So the first thing we did for Caitlin is she went online to find some appropriate clothing that she would like, color-wise and price-wise and things like that. She was able to get some long sleeve water-wicking purple shirts and things that she liked. And that's what she wore as an outer layer for the majority of our trip. Obviously you want to wear some durable pants, like maybe jeans. But the other thing that goes with that is you don't want to wear tennis shoes, flip-flops, things that are going to disintegrate if in the event you hit the pavement. You want to wear some durable footwear. For Caitlin, we were able to find some heavy-duty boots, and obviously they had purple shoelaces, but they worked well for our purposes. The last thing that was important was gloves. There's all kinds of different gloves, and in Caitlin's situation, it's hard to find clothing that fits her. So we went online and bought her some gloves. We bought fingerless gloves, which is what I ride with. I like to have fingerless gloves for a variety of reasons. I can operate my electronic equipment, my GPS, I can touch my phone, things like that. The problem we ran into with Caitlin, though, is she bought these fake leather gloves that were fingerless, and we left Texas, and by the time we got to Florida, she had a rash on both of her hands, wrists, and going up her arms. She had to get medication from a doctor. It was a whole ordeal, but basically it went back to the gloves. They weren't breathable, and I guess they were retaining moisture, which led to some sort of fungal infection. It was a bad deal. So if you're going to buy gloves, just kind of keep an eye out for stuff like that. Maybe stay away from the fake leather. Ultimately, check out Caitlin's fit. She became a biker chick almost overnight. All of this kind of comes together with one main topic, and that is when you ride a motorcycle, you strip away the doors, the roof, and your vulnerability. You strip away a communication barrier between you and other people. When you ride a motorcycle, you'll find real quick, especially on a long distance trip when you end up stopping a lot for gas in places you haven't been, you'll have people coming up to you wanting to talk about when they rode a motorcycle, or their dad has a motorcycle, or anything to do with motorcycles, because you're now somebody they can relate to. Look at this. There we go. My point is, when you have that kind of vulnerability, you're vulnerable to people, which is a good thing, but you're also vulnerable to the elements. And you can dress as warm as you want or as cool as you want to accumulate for the weather, but one thing that gets overlooked a lot, and especially in Caitlin's case, is she forgot to drink enough water. Before we even hit Memphis, which was our first major stop from Dallas, it's a full day ride all the way to Memphis, Tennessee. And before we even got there, she was experiencing heat stroke type symptoms. She was getting dizzy, her skin was cool to the touch. She wasn't feeling good. She was starting to feel nauseous. And I love these roundabouts. I'm going to do like 2 laps. Woo! We're never done. It's free. So when you are exposed to the elements, you got to keep in mind that you drink enough water. As basic as that is, you might find yourself in the middle of nowhere and it's hot. You can't roll up the window or turn on the air conditioner or even get in shade, really. And if you don't have water, it's not like you can have a cup full of ice sitting there to suck on. Like, what?
The sunset.
Yeah. It's not like you have a cup of ice sitting there that you can just slurp on. So basically what I'm saying is make sure that you drink enough water. In Caitlin's case, we got some water in. We put a big ice cube on her head and just let her relax for a little while and got her feeling better. It's a big deal, but just something you can avoid, and hopefully you'll still look cool in front of your friends because you're not the one passing out from the heat. Here's another roundabout. Woo! Look where you want to go. Accelerate through the turn. Woohoo! Yeah, I know. It was like that yesterday. By the end of our first motorcycle trip together, she was in love with riding. She wants to go everywhere, and in fact, she was trying out her own motorcycle. So what's 2024 going to bring? Will we see Caitlin ride a motorcycle? Will we see Caitlin buy a motorcycle? Only the universe will know. Okay, here's the big thing. If you found this video entertaining at all or informational, do me a favor, look down below the video. There's a button that says subscribe. Punch it right in the belly button. Let it know who's boss. And thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, I have a special treat. When we were on our long distance motorcycle trip, Caitlin did the floss. It's the cutest thing ever, and it's freaking hilarious. So check this out.
That's a bet. Hey, that's a bet like a poker chip. I'm on ultra drip.
So cute because you're so little. I think that's the cutest thing I've ever seen you do. You're so little.